So with this exercise for 1 point perspective grid, we're following a step-by-step process. It goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to complete your 1 point perspective grid. I'm going to use a 1 inch equals 1 foot for the outside of the box. And then you can see here it goes from 1 to 10, so it's 10 feet across. So I start at my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see how I'm adding a little tick at each mark so that I know that's 1 foot measurement on the bottom half. Then what I would use my 90 degree, and I'm going to go and do an 8 foot high ceiling, which is a standard height ceiling. Again, just lining it up, making sure I start at my 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet. And make sure that my square is even. If it's out, it will throw your box out if it's on an angle. Again, add a little tick to each foot. And as you can see, I'm just following here my step number 1, and I'll complete the box too on either side. All right, the next step here is you find your eye level, horizontal eye level. I'm going to put mine at 5 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 5 foot tall. I'm going to draw a line straight across from there. And that would be called your horizontal eye level. Sometimes it's good too just to add like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see how many feet across you are going. 9 and 10. For step number 2, they're asking you to find your vanishing point. Now your vanishing point is where you're standing within that space. You could be off to the right a bit, off to the left of that space, or right in the center of that room. This is showing that it's off, just slightly off to the right. So we'll follow that example. So I'm going to add my vanishing point at about, say, 6 feet over. Add a dot right on my vanishing, or on my horizontal plane. VP, vanishing point. Then you can see how they're adding a line from each corner to the vanishing point. So we have those steps completed. Our next step here is you're going to go to number 3 here, and you're going to find your standing point. Now this is when you wish you had a larger sheet. Sometimes you need to make a mark a little further down. You'll notice here that you're not supposed to go over 90 degrees. If you go too far, it would go past your sight line. So a standing point indicates the viewer's position, relation to the room, and seen from above. So, and as I mentioned, 90-degree angle indicates a maximum angle of vision. So you need to find area 90 degrees. So So usually what I'll do is draw a line straight down. I'll do it a light line. And you know, see, I can even put it down further here. There's my 90 degree. So you can do there too. Let's match up to that. To see how, oh, hold on. Because yeah, it's a little further down. Because that's your 90 degree, it's right here, right? So it has to go a little further down. So now if you put your 90 degree triangle there, it'll match with that, and there's your standing point is right here. You can't go any further than that because your sight line won't go there or work that way. You can't see further than that. So I'll take an eraser and just erase that one area. So that's not quite right with the angle on there. So again, following here, you can't go past your 90 degree. And the best way to determine that is to line up the corners with your vanishing point straight on that line. You add a little dot, and that would be called your standing point. This part gets confusing to people. It's not an easy step to follow. What you would do afterwards is that you take, for step 4, where your standing point distance from your vanishing point, and you swing it over, and that would be considered your measuring point. So the best way to determine that would be to measure the space. So I'm pretty much at 10 feet there. Just a little shy of that. So we'll go to 9 foot just to measure it accurately. 11 inches. And then I go flip it back over here. You have a little dot, and this will be your measuring point. So you can see why you need a pretty good sized large paper too, so that you're not drawing over top of the paper or on the board. So this would be your measuring point. If you do draw on the table, please erase it with a pencil. I'm going to say many people don't. So there's your measuring point, which you can see here how they flipped it over. Now, if you look at example 5, step 5, what they do is they go from their measuring point, use their ruler, and match up with the measuring point here, number 1, 2, and then draw a little tick on this line. And you can tell it goes bigger and then smaller all the way back. So, I'll show you how that works. I go from my measuring point to my number 1, add a small tick. steel ruler too, or yeah, or this one will work too, where it has a little bit longer. Steel ruler would work much better if you have that, just to get the length that you need, which is your scale. So if you start looking at that, you can tell how it goes larger to smaller. And we've added all our little measuring points here on the left side. So on number 6 here, what they ask you to do is to start drawing your box using your measuring points from the corner line and drawing up from using your 90-degree triangle. So what you can do is use the bottom box back of the wall first. Draw it across. And it should line up pretty straight. Now this is when it's crucial to have your box, your main outer box, line up so that your back box will line up. Because if an angle's off, it'll take a long time to fix this issue. So now what I do is I go all the way back around now. Using my measuring points. Going straight up with my 90 degree. And then I go straight across here. You can see how it's coming together now. And then I'm going to just concentrate on these two for now, just to give you an idea how you finish up your boxes. What you do to finish up the boxes is you go from your vanishing point to the side measurements of the wall. And you just continue on this way. And you would just go around the whole perimeter of each wall the same way. Perimeter of the room. Get the same way this way for the floor. And so on. So you can see how it's forming that 3D box for you. And at the end, when you finish off each wall, you'll have a complete 3D, one perspective grid to work with. And you would use this as an underlay and work over top with another clean sheet of paper to put in your furniture. Thank you.